All right, how to turn a credit card denial into a credit card approval, meaning you applied for a card, fully applied, no pre-approval. You just applied, got denied. How to end up getting approved even though you just got denied. So a lot of people think denial is the end of the road, and it's not. Meaning, like you apply for a card, you think, oh man, I'm gonna get this credit card. You try to get it, they say, no, no, no. And then you get denied, then you go, oh man, I got denied. Well, that sucks. And then you just go about your business. This is the mistake a lot of people make, the majority of people make. And I think if more people knew this is something that like a lot of people don't talk about on YouTube. I don't see a lot of the credit gurus, finance guys, like not to, talk bad about them, but I just don't see them talking about this. And this is a real thing. I feel like a lot of people don't know this, and I think it's really, really good information. Like, this is information that a lot of people would charge for. Maybe that's why I don't see it on YouTube, is because they're charging for it. But anyway, there's a real thing. I'm living proof of this. I've done this multiple times. I've done it for business credit cards. I know it can happen for personal credit cards. But yes, even if you get denied for a card, that doesn't mean you can't get that card, right? Just stay focused, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. But I want to preface this video by saying there are things you're gonna have to do, or kind of set yourself up before you apply, and then after you apply, obviously there's something you're gonna have to do to get the card, even though they just denied you for the card. So why is this possible? Like, why, if they literally just denied you for the card, how could you turn around and turn that denial into an approval, right? It doesn't really make any sense. And this isn't some sneaky method, like keep calling the bank until a different person picks up and then ask them and then ask them. No, I mean, a lot of times, well, a lot of things in this world, especially in today's era, a lot of things are based off, I don't want to say AI, but off an algorithm, right? Like automatic approvals. Like if you apply for a credit card and you get approved or denied, like you click and then the little wheel rotates for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you get approved and denied. That's not enough time for a human being to sit there and review your credit profile or review whatever you have to say, yeah, we're okay with extending him some money, right? So it's not manual. What is called is underwriting, if you're not familiar, right? Underwriters are the ones who decide who gets approved and denied, right? So it's not manual underwriting because there's no human being. It's automatic. So the algorithm, the robot, whatever they have set up, didn't just automatically approve you. Now they might say, we need to review your application. It might take 5 to 7 days. That's when a human being is most likely going to look at it. But sometimes they just flat out deny you because whatever your profile looks like, it might not hit the things the algorithm is looking for. But if you can get it to go to human underwriting, then we got some wiggle room, right? This is where it gets really, really interesting, right? Because most, if not, I won't say all, because I know for a fact some don't have the specific department, but most credit card companies, banks have somebody you can call about this. But before I get into all of that, I want to get into what you need to be beforehand, right? Like, let's say you get denied for a card. If I pull up with a 500 credit score, I got a derogatory, like I got a collection and a 500 credit score, and I applied for this card, but I got denied. Okay, you're probably still gonna get denied no matter what you do, right? So you want to show up looking like you're ready, bro. You want to show up looking fly. Show up to the dance looking like you're ready to take something home, right? You don't want to show up and not have all your ducks in a row. So you want to have your personal credit right. Watch my other videos about credit. I have multiple videos telling you how to fix your credit, how to have a 750 credit score. You don't need a 750 for this per se, but you want to have positive accounts on your credit profile, right? You want to have multiple positive accounts. Probably have a couple of, well, depending on the card, you only need so much, but you don't want to have any negatives. You don't want to have any collections. You don't want to have a ton of recent inquiries. You want no negatives on your credit profile. You want to have some positives, like some positive credit cards and installment loans, shit like that. Like a couple of positive trade lines, like kickoff, self, all that kind of shit. You want to have some good things on your credit profile. You want to have over a 700 credit score. You don't want to have a bunch of recent, like if you just opened a credit card 2 months ago, you might be cooked. But if it's been over 3 months, more than 3 months since your last credit card opened, your utilization is under 10%, your score is over 700, you look like a good borrower. You look like somebody on paper who they should approve. So if you should just have your credit profile looking like that in general. But if your credit profile looks like that and then you get denied, then we got some wiggle room, right? So again, this is why I'm saying this is the situation you want to have beforehand. You want to make sure your credit profile looks good, because once you get the manual underwriting, once you have a human being look at it, if your shit looks shitty, they're gonna be like, well, of course you got denied. They're just gonna say, hey, here's why you got denied. Now, if they see that you got denied and you call them and they say, "Oh, he's got a 700 credit score. Well, let me look further." Then they ask more questions, right? So most credit card companies have what's called a reconsideration line. Like Chase has a reconsideration line. Some other companies, like Bank of America, doesn't have a specific reconsideration line, but they have a department in their bank that they can transfer you to. You cannot call the number. They told me specifically, you can't call the number directly, but we can transfer you to them, and they can do it. And like you can talk to them, and they say, "Oh, you want me to reconsider your application?" You say, "Yes." Okay, cool. So then the human being that you're on the phone with, and another like little, I don't want to say a hack to this, but just something to keep in mind when you call them, try to call and get the nicest person you hear on the phone. A nicer older woman, somebody you can joke with, somebody who's friendly with you. Be a good person, man. Turn the sauce on, raise them up a little bit, do whatever you got to do. But you want this person to like you, to want to help you, and you got to be able to rap cap. You got to be able to talk shop. You got to be able to like. They're gonna ask you, at least if you're doing business credit like I did, you're gonna need to be able to talk about your business, and like because they're gonna ask you a lot of questions, right? They're gonna ask you about your personal income. They're gonna confirm your identity, all that kind of shit. Ask you about your personal income. If you got a business, they're gonna ask your business revenue. How long have you been in business? How long have you been doing your business? Something that I've seen them ask before is not just how long, like when did you form your LLC? They'll just ask how long have you been doing this. So well, I just formed my LLC a month ago, but I've been doing this for 3 years. There's no verification that you've been doing it for 3 years. You just say, "Yo, I've been doing this for 3 years. Here's what I made last year. I'm projecting to make this much more because now I'm going to banks for funding and doing other things. I'm scaling my business up. So I'm expecting I did 80K last year. I'm expecting to do 150 this year more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, know how to talk business a little bit if you're doing this for business credit applications. That's my area of expertise on this. But even with personal credit cards, you can do this. You can call reconsideration or call the bank. My point is, call them when they deny you. You might get an email or you'll get paper mail. They'll tell you why you got denied, and if they're just telling you, yeah, this is why you got denied, and they're not really saying shit else, and just ask them about reconsideration. It's definitely a thing. It's definitely a department at most banks. And if they reconsider it, that means they need to look. They already pulled your credit, so 9 times out of 10 they're not going to pull it again. There might be a bank out there that does pull it again, but most of them won't. And even if they do, get the inquiry removed. But when they pull your credit, they're gonna say, like I've had them tell me before, oh, you had a recent inquiry, you didn't have what did they say? You didn't have like an account with, you didn't have a deposit or whatever account with us, and I was like, I opened a business checking with y'all, put money in the account. It wouldn't let me put more than X amount of dollars, so I only put a few hundred. I don't got no recent inquiries, so like they didn't really have legs to stand on for the denial. It was just the algorithm bugging, right? So once a human being looks at your credit profile and says, you got a 700 credit score, over 700, you don't got recent accounts opened up, you don't got that many inquiries, your utilization is under 10%. Like, why would we deny this, dude? Like, what's the issue here, right? And it could be your business is brand new. Like, it could be something like that, but then they'll ask you. That's why they ask you those questions, right? So you do all of that. Usually you talk to a person. They'll look at your profile, put you on hold, ask you a few more questions, put you on hold. It's kind of the process how it goes. And if you can talk shop, if you make solid money in your personal credit, another thing you want to have on your personal credit is you want to have some high limit cards. If you've already got some personal cards that are like 5,000 or more, and if you watch my content, I already told you how to get $5,000 cards, or at least worst case scenario $2,000, and you can easily run that 2K up to 5K, 10K. Watch my other content, but you should have cards that are thousands of dollars on your 5,000, 10,000 on your personal credit. So when they look at that and say, "Oh, you've already been paying off $5,000 credit cards for 3 months, 6 months, you're responsible with thousands of dollars. You just started a business. You just want to get funding for your business now." It makes you look like a really good borrower, and it makes it look like, oh, the algorithm is kind of, I don't really, you know what I mean? Like a human being is more likely to reason with you and then see all of this, right? So this is a thing, like I said, I've done before myself multiple times. I'm not gonna say I've done it 100 times, but I've done it a couple times. But yeah, sometimes the algorithm just automatically denies you, or maybe it's something on your account that you don't really know that, like, you know what I mean, and it might just flag it, even though it's not a real thing. Sometimes it'll take a few days for them to verify you. But yeah, even if you got denied, you can call reconsideration, talk to a human being, and sometimes it's a human being like I'm black, right? Obviously, like, I might get an older black woman on the phone and we're just talking like we relatives or something. We just getting along with each other. We like each other's vibe, and it's like with a human being, there's always wiggle room. Always. You can always. I don't want to make it sound like a scam or nothing. It's not as perfectly legal, but you can always finesse a human being. I'm gonna just call it what it is. You can always finesse a human being. You can always sauce up a human being. If you're a man and it's a woman, or a woman it's a man, you can always kind of flirt with them, raise them up. You can do whatever you got to do to get them to do what you need them to do to fund your business. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're trying to get this money to fund our businesses, to fund our lives, fund our dreams, and do what we got to do and run it up and be successful. So yeah, that's how you turn a credit card denial into an approval. You want to have your ducks in a row. You want your credit profile looking good, your score looking high. If you happen to apply and get denied, cool. You call them business days, Monday through Friday, regular hours. Call reconsideration, talk to them, get them to reconsider your application, and then sauce them up. Like, tell them what they need to hear. Tell them, be cool, be friendly, be professional, but have a personality, be nice with them. And then, a lot of times they will just, like, the second time I did it, I didn't even know how it was going. And when he asked me, hey, what does your business do? And I just started yapping about what you know what I mean? He was like, all right, kind of cut me off. And I was like, oh, shit, my bad. I don't know if he, was kind of annoyed by me. And then, a few minutes, I'll put you on a brief hold. Gets back on the phone. All right, I'm going to resubmit your application for approval. Your limit should be X amount of dollars. I was just like, damn, thank you. And, sometimes, closed mouth don't get fed. Sometimes all you got to do is ask. Like, if you just take that denial immediately, and in business, you need to have this mindset. You can't just take what they give you. As soon as they give you this, I've applied for a business credit card, got denied, called reconsideration, got approved, and then didn't like the limit, called them again and said, yo, this limit is not it. They said, well, we can't do nothing until you submit a limit increase. I submitted a limit increase a day after I got the card, got denied, called them back, said, yo, this limit, this ain't adding up. And they said, you're right. And they upped my limit a day after getting the card. So, you just don't take what they give you, bro. You can always do more. You can always, believe in yourself. And again, fact check everything I'm saying. If you think I'm lying, I know I'm not. But again, I'm giving you the content. I'm giving you all the sauce that I don't think a lot of these other creators are going to give you, especially because my YouTube ain't popping yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. If y'all stick with me, I'll make you some money. Guaranteed. Already got video how to make 100, how to make 500, telling y'all how to get credit cards. Listen, just stay focused. Like and subscribe, man. Y'all have a good one. Y'all stay safe. I'm out.